Call Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai, Shalom to the house of David, the 144,000 by Yafta and the one-third men, women, and children as part of the elect, we so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans today, and the Israelite foreigners scattered in the four corners of the earth, the confusion of faces, and speaking in different tongues as part of the church. Basically, this vibration now is the music and the frequencies, because Esau infiltrated the music. That's why he puts out this demonic evil vibration, and it attacks our people, man, and puts our people in a negative vibration. That's why when you hear these rappers, these Drakes and Lil Wayne, which I don't fucking listen to. I listen to hip hop too. I listen to rap, but I listen to rap with some type of content, like if a brother lays down the track, I'll listen to that. Some with righteous lyrics in it, but with a positive energy on it. Which these devils infiltrate the hip hop and the rap, and they make it negative, and they put that negative vibration upon the people. Music's not wicked. It's either you can make it negative or you can make it positive. And Esau don't make nothing positive. Esau's the devil. Just like these movies and these TV shows and television, and this whole system's a pit. It's hell, and this music's hell. And basically, we have to end of this thing, man. You know what I'm saying? The music of this word is coming out, which is this truth and this vibration, this frequency is being pushed out. And these devils are scared. But basically, I just want to stick with this topic with David. Because David, basically, when you read in 1 Samuel 18, when David killed his tens and thousands, when Saul killed his thousands, that would be considered today gangster music, man. This was after he slayed. You got to really picture this in your head. You got to visualize. Which, as a matter of fact, this track, this live band, these live musicians is actually it's a song Conan the Destroyer, which that's a badass movie, and that's what King David was. He was a destroyer of these heathen nations, man. We're gonna read the fact that it was so popping. It was such a hot track and a hot song when he slayed the Philistines that it actually followed him. It followed him wherever he went because he had that reputation. Just like today you got these wicked ass rappers on the left hand side. They'll make a big hit. And they'll be always known for that hit. Well, David was always known for that song that the women sang for him after he slayed tens and thousands of the Philistines, man. We're going to bring the scriptures out. Even when he fled to the Philistines, they knew of that reputation of that hot track after he slayed tens and thousands of the Philistines. 1 Samuel 18:5, and David went out whithersoever Saul sent him and behaved himself wisely. And Saul set him over the men of war. And he was accepted in the sight of all people, and also in the sight of Saul's servants. And it came to pass as they came when David was returned from the slaughter of the Philistine, and that the women came out of all the cities of Israel. This is where you get the whole cheerleaders for, singing and dancing to meet King Saul, with timbrels, with joy, and with instruments of music. And the women answered one another as they played and said, Saul hath slain his thousands, and David his tens of thousands. And they were singing this. And David killed his tens of thousands. He was slaughtering those Philistines, man, killing them. And Saul was very wroth, and he got jealous. He got jealous because the hot track wasn't about him. And they saying displeased him. And he said, they have ascribed unto David 10,000s, and to me they have ascribed but thousands. And what can he have more but the kingdom? Yeah, because David's that celebrity, man. He's that star. And the Most High promised him the kingdom, man. And was taken away from Saul. And Saul, that's why it says the house of Saul was getting worse and worse, and the house of David was getting stronger and stronger. House of Saul was waxing worse and worse. And Saul eyed David from that day and forward, because he was jealous, man. He was jealous. You be even seeing that now on the left-hand side. Rappers be going after the top dude. That's how it was, man. Musicians always going for that top dude. The same thing back then. David was that dude, and people wanted his spot. Saul was jealous. I'm going to play this. Cymbals, harps, guitars, saxophones, pianos, and the spiritual too, because I went to my neighbor's house for the first time ever and she had a big ass piano in the living room. That's the spirit, man. That's the spirit. There's a big ass piano she had in the living room. She plays piano. That's the times we're living in, man. This music's out. This truth is out, man. First and foremost, the name Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is being pushed out through this internet. Us teaching, us praying, that vibration, that frequency of the Lord is being pushed out and is combating this negative energy. We're living in beautiful times, man. Exciting times. Isaiah 21:10. And David arose and fled that day for fear of Saul. Now he was fleeing from Saul. Remember, Saul had his evil eye towards him, man. Especially after that hot track of him killing his tens of thousands, King David, and him only killing his thousands. So that track still stood in his head. You hate a song and it stays in your fucking head, but you hate the song. The same thing with Saul. He hated that track. That track was was raising up David. So that track, like when 50 Cent, even on the left hand side, when 50 Cent destroyed Ja Rule, that shit haunts him to this day, man. Them records, and that's with Murder Inc. The G Unit, and the G Unit's the House of David, man. In righteousness, And David arose and fled that day of fear for Saul and went to Achish, the king of Gath. And the servants of Achish said unto him, It is not this David, the king of the land? Did they not sing one to another of him in dances? So they knew of that hot track. And the servants of Achish said unto him, Is it not this David, the king of the land? Did they not sing one to another of him in dances, saying, Saul hath slain his thousands and David his tens of thousands? So everybody knew of that hot track, man. And David laid up these words in his heart and was so afraid of Achish, the king of Gath. And he changed his behavior before them and feigned himself made in their hands and scrambled on the doors of the gate and let his spittle fall down upon his beard. Then said Achish unto his servants, Lo, ye see the man is mad. Wherefore then have ye brought him to me? Have I need of mad men, that ye have brought this fellow to play the madmen in my presence? Shall this fellow come into my house? Yeah, they was looking at him with an evil eye, man. David had to flee, man. But they knew of that reputation of that track. They knew of that hot track, man. That's why the Philistines like, yo, we can't trust this dude. They did a song. He slayed tens of thousands. And they did a hot track after that, man. Straight up dissing us. Like today you got disses. You got rappers dissing other rappers and causing beefs. Yeah, that's what that was, man. Our women can sing, man. The Israelite women can sing and dance, and they're beautiful too. And it was cheerleading, man. There had to be some beautiful music. Isaiah 29, we're going to have that beautiful music again in the kingdom. Actual music, musical instruments. We're going to be partying, man. Concert, man. Yahweh Shai going to be with us, man. He's gonna raise us to get us the fuck out of here. What do you think? He's coming in the giant limousine, man. He's going to give us some celestial suits. We're going to party, man. Isaiah 29, Lord willing, we part of the elect. Now the Philistines gathered together all their families of Aphik, and the Israelites pitched by a fountain which is in Jezreel, and the lords of the Philistine passed on by hundreds and by thousands. But David and his men passed on in the reward with Achish. Then said the princes of the Philistines, What do these Hebrews here? And Achish said unto the princes of the Philistines, Is not this David, the servant of Saul, the king of Israel, which have been with me these days or these years, and I have found no fault in him, since he fell unto me unto this day? And the princes of the Philistines were wroth with him. And the princes of the Philistines said unto him, Make this fellow return, that he may go again to his place, which thou hast appointed him, and let him not go down with us to battle, lest in the battle he be an adversary to us. Because they were scared that he might spy and turn on them in battle. Least in the battle he had adversary to us because of that hot track after he killed the tens of thousands. For wherewith should he reconcile himself unto his master? should it not be with the heads of these men? He basically was like, he'll turn on us and side with Saul, side with Israel. Is this not David of whom they listen to this? Is this not David of whom they sang one to another in dances, saying, Saul slew his thousands and David his tens of thousands?